Welcome to Everyday English Steps. Are you struggling with English? Do you feel stuck when trying to speak fluently? Don't worry, you're not alone. Many learners face challenges just like you. Today, we're sharing an inspiring story about Lily, a young woman determined to improve her English and change her future. In this story, you'll see the struggles, the dedication, and the small but powerful steps that led her to success. If you've ever felt frustrated with your learning journey, this video will give you the motivation and practical strategies to keep going. Stay with us until the end, and let's take another step towards English fluency together. The journey to fluency, Lily's determination. Lily's background and family influence. Lily had always been an ambitious young woman. Raised in a family that valued education, she grew up with a strong desire to succeed. Her parents were both university professors, her mother in literature and her father in engineering. They instilled in her a love for learning and encouraged her to pursue a wide range of academic interests. However, they didn't emphasize the importance of learning foreign languages, especially English, as both spoke it fluently and assumed Lily would naturally follow in their footsteps. Despite their encouragement, Lily's early education did not include much emphasis on English. She had a few English classes in school, but they were often theoretical and lacked real-world application. As a result, her skills remained basic. In high school, she excelled in many subjects, but English was always a weak point. This didn't seem to matter at the time, because she wasn't considering a global career yet. It wasn't until she graduated from university with a degree in business administration that Lily realized the significant gap in her language skills. While she was proud of her academic achievements, she felt unprepared for the professional world, particularly the international job market. Her university professors had always encouraged her to aim for a multinational corporation, but she knew English was a barrier. Still, she convinced herself that she could overcome it quickly once she entered the workforce. The first setback, the job interview. After graduation, Lily set her sights on a multinational corporation that she had always admired. She believed this would be the perfect place to utilize her skills, meet like-minded professionals, and eventually build a strong career. She applied to several positions, carefully tailoring her resume and cover letters to each company. Eventually, she received an interview invitation from one of the most well-known corporations in the world. The night before the interview, Lily was both excited and nervous. She knew this was her opportunity to prove herself. She had spent hours researching the company, practicing common interview questions, and making sure her resume was impeccable. However, she couldn't escape the sinking feeling in her stomach about her English skills. She had studied English in school, but she hadn't had many opportunities to speak it in real-life situations. As the interview day approached, her anxiety about speaking in English grew. When the interview began, the first part, conducted in her native language, went smoothly. She was confident, clear, and articulate. But when the interviewer switched to English, Lily's confidence crumbled. She struggled to find the right words, her sentences were halting, and she constantly second-guessed herself. Every time she made a mistake, she could feel her face turning red with embarrassment. The interviewer seemed patient, but Lily could tell that she wasn't performing at her best. When the interview concluded, she was left with an overwhelming feeling of failure. A few days later, Lily received an email from the company. Her qualifications were impressive, but they needed someone with stronger English proficiency. They thanked her for her time and wished her luck in her future endeavors. Lily was crushed. She had worked so hard to get to that point, and yet, her language skills had held her back. It was a hard blow, but it also became the catalyst for change in her life. Decision to improve, the turning point. After receiving the rejection email, Lily felt a deep sense of disappointment. She questioned her abilities and wondered if she would ever be able to reach the level of fluency needed for a successful career. She spent several days in self-doubt, wondering if it was too late for her to catch up. But then, something inside her clicked. She remembered all the times in her life when she had faced challenges and overcame them. This wouldn't be different. If she truly wanted a successful career, she would have to improve her English, no excuses. She made a firm decision: she would dedicate herself to learning English and improving her speaking skills until she could confidently communicate in any professional setting. Lily enrolled in an intensive English course at a local language school. The classes were structured, with a mix of grammar exercises, reading comprehension, and speaking practice. She also joined a language exchange program where she could practice speaking with native speakers. But Lily quickly realized that learning from books wasn't enough. She needed to immerse herself in English, so she began surrounding herself with the language at all times. She switched her phone and laptop settings to English, started watching English language TV shows, and even listened to English podcasts during her commute. Slowly, she began feeling more comfortable with the language, but she knew the most important thing was to practice speaking. The YouTube channel that changed everything. While searching for more ways to practice speaking, Lily stumbled upon a YouTube channel called Everyday English Steps. The channel focused on teaching practical English for daily life and provided helpful pronunciation tips. The videos were simple, engaging, and practical. The lessons weren't just about grammar rules, they were about real-life conversations, which was exactly what Lily needed. She immediately subscribed to the channel and made it part of her daily routine. As Lily watched more videos, she noticed her speaking ability improving. The interactive approach helped her internalize common phrases and expressions that she could use in her daily life. She began practicing these phrases out loud, repeating them until they felt natural. It wasn't long before she started to gain confidence in her speaking ability. Lily decided to take her learning even further. She set a strict routine to ensure she was practicing every day. Lily's daily routine for English improvement. 6:30 a.m. wake up and morning routine. Lily started her day early, making the most of her mornings. She listened to an English podcast while getting ready and prepared a to-do list in English to structure her day. 7 a.m. morning reading and vocabulary practice. She read articles or books in English, highlighting unfamiliar words and creating flashcards. By adding new words to her vocabulary every day, she was able to steadily expand her knowledge. 8 a.m. breakfast and video learning. While eating breakfast, she watched a lesson from Everyday English Steps and repeated key phrases out loud, mimicking the pronunciation of the speakers. 9 a.m. English class and speaking practice. Lily attended her language course, actively participating in discussions and role-playing exercises. Speaking with other students was a great way to practice in a safe environment. 12 p.m. lunch and conversational practice. During lunch, she practiced thinking in English and even talked to herself in English to get used to forming sentences naturally. 2 p.m. listening and writing exercise. Lily listened to English news reports and wrote summaries to improve both her listening and writing skills. 5 p.m. shadowing technique and pronunciation practice. She picked English dialogues from TV shows and mimicked the speakers, focusing on their intonation, pronunciation, and rhythm. 7 p.m. language exchange and real conversations. Lily engaged in online conversations with native speakers, forcing herself to use English in practical settings. 9 p.m. reflection and goal setting. At night, she reflected on her progress and set new language goals for the following day. 10 p.m. relaxation with English entertainment. Before bed, she watched English movies or TV shows with subtitles, making learning enjoyable. Emotional struggles and personal growth. Although Lily was making progress, there were still moments of self-doubt. She often felt overwhelmed by how much there was to learn. One day, she tried to order coffee in English at a cafe that catered to international customers. When the barista asked her a follow-up question, Lily panicked. She stuttered and fumbled with her words, leaving the cafe feeling defeated. That night, she couldn't help but cry in frustration. Why is this so difficult? She asked herself. Will I ever speak English fluently? But then, she reminded herself of the bigger picture. Every great achievement required struggle. She watched motivational videos and read stories of people who had overcome language barriers. If they can do it, so can I, she told herself. The next day, Lily returned to the same cafe. This time, she ordered with more confidence. The barista smiled and said, "Your English is improving." That small moment gave Lily a huge boost of confidence. New friendships and real conversations. During her language course, Lily met Carlos, a student from Spain. Carlos was also learning English and they decided to practice together. Every weekend, they met for English-only conversations. They laughed at their mistakes and encouraged each other. This camaraderie made the process less stressful and more enjoyable. Carlos suggested they go to an English-speaking club to practice with native speakers. Lily was hesitant at first, afraid she wouldn't be able to understand them. But eventually, she agreed. At the club, she had her first real conversation with an American traveler. Though she stumbled at times, she kept pushing through. The traveler was patient and even complimented her for trying so hard. This experience was another major confidence boost for Lily. Final test, another job interview. After months of hard work, Lily decided to apply for the same position at the multinational corporation. This time, she felt ready. She walked into the interview room with confidence. When the interviewer switched to English, Lily was no longer afraid. She spoke fluently, responded confidently, and even made the interviewer laugh with a light joke. A few days later, Lily received a call from the company. She had gotten the job. Her hard work had paid off. Lily had transformed from a hesitant, unsure candidate into a self-assured professional. She realized that learning English wasn't just about memorizing words, it was about perseverance, practice, and surrounding yourself with the language. A lifelong journey. Even after landing the job, Lily continued to improve her English. She kept watching everyday English steps and attended language meetups to stay connected to the learning process. She knew that language learning was a lifelong journey, and she was excited about the future ahead, full of confidence, fluency, and endless possibilities. Through determination, persistence, and the right resources, Lily turned her setbacks into stepping stones, turning her dreams into reality. Now, she was ready for the next chapter of her life, with a bright future and a fluent command of English.